everybody. Good afternoon. It's Coach Jessica, and I know that there's a lot of you guys in the group who continued on from last month. I just wanted to welcome you to March, and also welcome. We actually have 3 or 4 new folks who joined us for this month. So some of this is going to be repetitive for you guys, and then some will be new for newbies. But I wanted to go over how do you make the most use of this group. And the best way to make use of this group is to decide to come here every single day. Typically, someone posts every day. I post 2 to 3 videos a week, plus we have our live call on Saturdays. You can find that in the announcements section. There's a link. It's the same link every Saturday for the call. You just click that to Zoom with us. During that call, we actually get to interact with each other. I teach on something, but I also open up time for you to ask me questions, for you guys to talk to each other and interact. It's one of my favorite things. The purpose of this group is to bring together people who are working through a common issue among us, food addiction, emotional eating, and eating disorders. And I'm going to talk more about what those are and defining what yours is this week. But the point of this group is to bring us into a safe place where we can talk about something that's not often talked about. There's so much shame associated with eating issues, and there's so much secrecy. One of the reasons that we don't get well is because it's not talked about. So I wanted to create an environment where it was safe to talk about all kinds of things and be totally open. So the first thing you have to do is commit to coming into this group every single day. You may or may not get Facebook notifications. I have no idea, because Facebook is squirrely and it does what it wants to do. But coming in and actually spending time scrolling through, talking about where you are in the process, commenting on other people's posts, watching any videos that I post. Those are things that will keep you connected, because connection is the opposite of addiction. And so I have found that the more connected we can stay, the more connected you can be to a community of people that truly understand what you're going through, the more likely you are to get well and stay well. So again, lots of familiar faces. A lot of you guys have already made connections, and I know that you will fully embrace people who have just joined this group this month. I started to do a group that continues from month to month versus doing a new group every month like I used to do, because a lot of times there's really good content that I really want to have a continuous sharing place, and that content's good whether you have been in the group for 4 months or whether it's new. And so one of the things I want you to realize is you have access to some past content. If you go to your screen and you click media, you can see photos and videos, and you can see inspirational photos, but you can also see food suggestions. You can ask questions about what you see there, but you can also see the short videos, the live videos like this one that I've recorded in the past. And because each month is different depending on what's going on and what the focus is, you may have access to some things that we don't cover this month. You can also see the last 4 weeks of Zoom calls if you're curious what that's like. If you've never done a Zoom call, or you want to know what our Zoom calls are like, you have access to the last 4 Zoom calls. So right now you can see February weeks 1 through 4. You can see those Zoom calls. If you just scroll back through the feed, you'll see I post that weekly. Now, when I record the March call, you'll lose February week 1. But right now, I would really encourage every one of you to go back and listen to those previous calls, especially if you're new to the group. But it's always good for everybody to go back and utilize those. So anyway, coming to the group, the second thing that is so important is for you to tell your story. Again, I know when we're talking about disordered eating behavior, and we're talking about food issues, and we're talking about emotional eating, we're not used to sharing But again, part of what works about this group is being really open and honest and vulnerable. So today is the day for introductions. Between today and tomorrow, it looks like almost everybody has accepted their invites to join. So whether you have been here or whether you are brand new, I really, really encourage you to tell your story. I have a video where I really share a lot about my story here in the group. I'll try to get everybody tagged in that so you can know me a little bit more. But you're in a place where nothing that you say, nothing that you can share about your story will be shocking, or it will not be judged. We all are struggling with the same thing, and we have people who are at different places in their journey. I recently, last month, celebrated 6 years of being free from my eating disorder and free from compulsive eating and emotional eating, and it's part of the reason why I do this thing. So I just wanted to share that with you, and so everybody can get to know me better if you don't already. But it's really important for you guys to know each other, and there's a lot of comfort and healing in seeing someone else share their story where you can say, oh my goodness, it sounds like me too, and then that makes someone else brave enough to share their story. So I just really wanted to encourage that today. This week we're going to be talking about the importance of nutrition in healing your eating disorder. Some people, I really think in the eating disorder community, I know myself, I was in 6 different eating disorder hospitals over several decades, and nutrition was never part of the answer. There is a perfect marriage between nutrition and behavioral therapy that really comes together to help you heal, and I'm going to be covering that this week. I'm also going to really talk about and define food addiction and go through the different eating disorders for you so you can really focus in on what your issue is and maybe come to acceptance around that. We're going to talk about commitment, and what it means to accept your eating disorder. So what I wanted to talk about today, other than just introduce you to the group, is choosing a strategy for the month based on where you are. If you're coming into this group and you are struggling with food, you're currently eating a standard American diet, and you have not been able to string together a couple of days or a couple of weeks of eating well, your main priority this month, I'm going to ask you not to necessarily focus on weight loss. Your main priority is going to be to become what I call food sober. And that definition of food sobriety is not knowingly eating foods that harm your body. And so I know it's hard because you want to focus on getting change and getting movement, and many of you want to focus on losing weight and things like that, and all those things probably need to happen. But until you're in a place where you can say, every day I'm eating foods that nourish my body, I'm not eating foods that cause me to be inflamed, I really, really want to encourage you not to focus on really specific macros or trying to follow a strict plan. It's just about, I'm choosing to eat these things, not these things. Again, under that tab of media, if you click on photos, there is the ketogenic food list. And again, I encourage you just to start there. Second, if you have strung together days and weeks and you are sober and you're ready to kind of push the limits and say, you know what, I want to tweak my food a little bit. I want to explore maybe how I can change my eating just a little bit to move the needle this month, but I don't want to get caught up in macros. Again, I'm never going to encourage you to do that. Some of you choose to track, and I'm not against that. But that's not what this is about. This is about getting movement without getting too stuck on numbers and things like that. There are some resources here in the group. Also in the photo section, you can see that I recommend cycling through high protein days and high fat days. And I give you some information on how to do that. The other thing I would encourage you to do if you have not gotten movement and you are sober is to look at your eating window. Are you eating many times a day? Are you eating over a long period of time? Just making your eating window. If you're eating in a 12-hour window, lower it to an 8 or a 6. That's a good starting place this month. Other things that might be stalling you or keeping you from getting movement, really simple things, is you're doing too much dairy. You're eating nuts. That's a big one. You may be eating too much approved fruit. You may be eating too many carbs. You could be eating too many vegetables. Yes, it is possible. So again, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the importance of nutrition in healing your eating disorder. But I want you to take a look at the resources, and I think it's very, very important because we're starting a brand new month for you to decide what your strategy is. There's always an opportunity for change. So instead of becoming frustrated, if you are having if you're in a place where you're feeling stuck, focus on what you have accomplished. If you are food sober, meaning you are not eating a standard American diet, you're eating nourishing, whole, good foods, and you're not seeing the results that you want, there are so many things you can do. And again, I would start with one of those strategies. Look at timed eating. Look at eliminating nuts or eliminating or minimizing dairy, which is one of those things I suggest in those graphics that are posted. And again, if you have questions about that and you're considering what should I do, feel free to tag me and ask that. We're going to have, I think, around 20 people here in the group once everything settles out at the end of the day and I take out people and everybody's joined. So you're in this small group. You have access to me. You have access to others who have been doing this. And utilize that. I am always here to help you with anything that you need help with. So yes, we're going to be focused very much on behaviors, but I don't want to bypass the nutrition conversation here as well, because it really does go together. We have to have both. So what I'm asking for from you is, one, an introduction. What is your story? Where are you at in this journey? Two, what is your commitment and what is it you want to accomplish in the month of March? Again, take a look at your nutrition strategy. Look at your own behaviors. Is it is there something small that you can change? Can you eliminate something? Can you, again, choose a window that's smaller? I'm happy to help you with those suggestions if you kind of let me know what's going on with you, because I want you to see progress. Most of all, I want to help you think differently and change in ways that will forever alter the way that you see your own behaviors. That is the most important thing. But at the same time, we certainly can move the needle on our health and our weight and all the other things that we want to see change. So anyway, looking forward to an amazing, amazing month. I'll share with you guys some of my commitments too. I'll do a post with that, and looking forward to hearing from all of you and getting to know those of you who are new to the group. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a great night.